And then I'd kind of go into Boots and spend £3 on a really shitty, can I swear?
Yeah.
My name's Grace and I'm a beauty editor. I work for a company called Beauty Bay and I run my own beauty blog called That Grace Girl. This started in my bedroom in my second year of uni. I was suffering from acne and I was just trying to find a solution to my acne, so I turned to the internet and I found the world of blogs and YouTube. I decided to document my own process of finding solutions for my acne. So I think for me, like growing up, I'd always had bad skin and there wasn't really anywhere to turn to as a teenager back then. Like there was no YouTube or blogs and stuff. And everyone in magazines and on TV always has perfect skin. So I was a bit like, why is my skin not perfect?
Okay, cats or dogs?
Dogs. Just about. So I wanted to start writing about my own experiences because I wanted to document it for other people who are in the same situation as me. Because like I said, there wasn't that resource at that time. So I just wanted my blog to be a place where other people with skin concerns could find an answer.
Favourite beauty product?
Eve Lom cleanser. So yeah, it was like pre-blogging, pre-vlogging, just kind of on that tipping point between people starting to trust untraditional media outlets over the magazines and that kind of thing.
Red or blue?
Blue. No, red. In terms of inspiration, when I started, there was a lot of fashion blogs. And originally I kind of really wanted to be a fashion blogger, but obviously when you're a student, it's really difficult to be a fashion blogger. In terms of beauty, it was just like the back pages of Vogue, which are the beauty pages. And I remember like as a kid, well, teenager, and I'd beg my mum to buy me Vogue and they would be the first pages that I'd read. I just loved reading them. I feel like every year since I entered the industry has been so different, and it's, when I look back, I can see a really clear evolution of how the industry's changed and grown, and that really excites and inspires me because I don't think I could do a job where it's just really monotonous and the same every year.
Swans or ducks?
Swans. Seeing the impact that I can have and help people, for example, like on Instagram, when people ask for help and then a few months later they'll come back and they'll say like, oh my god, Grace, that product completely changed my skin, like thank you so much for recommending it. And it's those kind of like small personal interactions really that inspire me to keep creating more content and trying new products. I just like to think that I am very truthful and honest about what I'm saying, writing, but also I am very interested in product formulation and stuff, especially in skincare. So I really like to get geeky about the ingredients and, you know, the scientific side of it, which is really funny because I hated chemistry when I was a kid. And I think when you start to understand that, that's when you get how skincare works, and that's when you can really fix your skin. It's not just about putting something on and hoping it works. It's like figuring out what is in it, how that's going to help your skin personally.
Pasta or pizza?
Pasta.
What's your favourite kind of pasta?
Oh, rigatoni. It's like the little fat little tubes. That was a really bad motion, wasn't it?
No.
And I think there is like a wider trend within the beauty world at the moment towards being a bit more like clued up about skincare and stuff. And there's a lot of brands bringing out products that are basically single ingredients like hyaluronic acid or vitamin C or whatever, rather than just giving you a serum and saying this is a magical wonder serum with 55 peptides in it. Like, it's about like knowing exactly what you're putting on your skin. That's something I've always tried to maintain in my blog. It's understandable why people are researching their products and ingredients before they purchased, whereas 10 years ago we didn't even have the opportunity to do that. There's been a few cases where I've like found out that there's an ingredient in a product that I'm not on board with. A classic example would be mineral oil, which is in a lot of cleansers, and it's put in there just as a filler, basically to bulk up the ingredients. It's very, very cheap and it does nothing for your skin. It can actually like clog your pores and make it worse. So there's been occasions where I've like had to remove a product from my routine because I found out it's got mineral oil in it and my skin hates mineral oil.
So vodka or gin?
Gin. Okay, so yeah, traditionally this industry, products were formulated by men, marketed by men, but predominantly for women. So it's quite nice being able to be in a position where I can influence and like help to evolve the industry. like we're at Beauty Bay, we're bringing out our own products, so being like on the front line and being able to say like, we want these ingredients, we don't want these ingredients, or that palette's too big, you couldn't get it in your handbag, and just like bring the real life kind of problems that the consumers face into the formulation and the packaging and everything like that is really cool. So obviously it stems from that wanting to share my experience of trying to fix my acne and help other people. But obviously that's something I've kind of got through now. So I think really, and even just at the beginning, it was very much about having a different voice to the one that we're used to hearing. So I think back when I started blogging, the only really beauty content you would find would be like in magazines, that kind of thing, or online magazines. And now there's a lot of beauty content out there on YouTube, blogs, Instagram, but it's not always truthful. There's so much like sponsored content, and there's all kinds of like arguments over like people being sent products and sent thousands of pounds to review them and stuff. And for me, it's always been about having an opposite voice to that, so a really truthful one. I always declare when I've been paid to work with a brand or sent a product. I very rarely work with brands where I'm paid for them because I don't want to lie about products that I don't actually use or don't actually like, that kind of thing. So I just want my blog to be a place where people can go for a really truthful review. I totally think that there's a lot of issues in the way that online beauty content, the whole process of it works. Because there's no legal obligation to disclose anything, really. And you just really can't trust what you see. And I'm saying that as someone who works in the industry and sees all the things that happens behind the scenes and that kind of thing. And I've been asked to do things by brands myself that I wouldn't ever do. But yeah, I think that's why I kind of got to a point where I could have pursued blogging as a career, or I could have just gone down the route I've gone down and being a beauty editor. And the reason I chose this one was because it got to the point where in order to pay my rent, I would have had to take on every single job, to start out. And I'd have been, flogging face wipes and Ribena and mattresses and stuff, and that is not something that I want to do. And I think that says it all. I think you can really tell when you find a YouTuber or a blogger whether they're being truthful about, what they're disclosing, or whether they actually genuinely like and use a product. But yeah, it worries me. It's scary.
What's the best thing you ever got for Christmas?
An MP3 player.
What kind?
It was a Sony Bean, and it was like shaped like a jelly bean. And we're about to get run over by a bike. I really don't know. I'm very bad at finishing things.